it looks like. Okay, yeah, they're all still in the winner's circle. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Flightline, undefeated, untested, winner of the Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. Terry Finley representing West Point Thoroughbreds, one of the ownerships involved in this great partnership. Terry, just, what are the words to describe Flightline?
Yeah. I thought he got tested today. I mean, I know you're supposed to stay like your opponents and give kudos to your opponents, but Life is Good ran better than I thought he was going to run overall, and man, they laid it down. I talked to Iran after the race, and all he said was, "Man, we were going very fast down the backside." So, just delighted, especially for the horse. You know what? It was the coolest thing all week. To be in town and to be around the barn or like the breakfast and everything, people they hey Jane.
Oh, good. Bring Jane.
They just had a sparkle in their eye when they talked about Flightline. So I've said it. We're all fans at heart, and obviously privileged to be part of this horse. But as the fan in all of us, we're like, boy, this is really good for the business.
Yeah, and just watching, obviously, the race itself, as you mentioned, they were throwing it down very fast fractions.
Yeah.
Any concerns looking up there? I mean, this horse is
Sure.
a superstar, but that was impressive.
Absolutely. To run away from those horses, they were 8 in front down the backside. I was like, I didn't even see what they went 3/4 in and 7 and change. So
that's
I'm
what
glad
we're
I didn't
seeing.
see that. I'm glad I didn't see that because, going a mile, who does that, right? Run away from those horses like he did, and to see those horses, really everyone a Grade 1 winner. I was like, either this is going to be really good or we're going to have some problems. So I think it was one or the other as they went into the far turn. But I saw him, he gave him a break, and he just gave him a shot to kind of throttle down a little bit. And obviously Flavin has a lot of confidence in this horse, always has, and I think that confidence is warranted. Just delighted. And I said something to Flavian after the race, and he was just beaming.
And for those listening in, Flavian Pratt riding in the last race, and as all good jockeys, he's honoring his commitment there. But, here as we bring in the rest of the connections here to Flightline.
Is there another chair?
John Sadler, go ahead and take a seat.
Hey, Jane.
Bring Jane. John, we'll keep going with you here. Congratulations. And Terry was just talking, this horse, watching that race and watching the performance he put on today. Undefeated, untested, but this was certainly a statement.
Well, he's been brilliant. Brilliant is his normal. So he didn't disappoint. He never has. So we're just really thrilled.
And Jane Lyon, Jane's part of the ownership, and you also bred this horse in your Summer Wind farm, and I know how much these horses are like children to you, so emotions?
Really
Speechless.
great. All's great.
Well, I'll turn it over to the press here, and I'm sure everybody has some very important questions for you. Dave Brennig first.
John, when you saw the fractions, the 3/4, I think it was 107 and 4. Could you just say what your emotion was? And
Is that what it was?
I thought it said 9 and 4, but someone told me it's 7.
I didn't. I think I missed that split. So, and I'm kind of glad I did. You know me. You've been covering this going into this, David, and I try to not get out ahead of the story. We just wanted to march into this race, and he's just a remarkable horse. In the words of Bud Delp, he's one of the best horses to ever look through a bridle. He's just that good.
Could you enjoy the stretch drive when he got past Life is Good and it's all clear sailing? Could you just exhale?
Yeah, a little bit. I haven't been sleeping. I haven't been sleeping for 2 weeks, so I'm a little tired. But he's just a great horse.
For all three of you, your level of confidence has been so high, not just, it seems, because of the merits of the horse, but because the whatever situation the horse can be in. Can you discuss now that confidence and why you felt like, it wasn't a case of saying, things in horse racing can happen? Can you just talk about how this might have been a little different than that?
Well, I mean, this is just, how do you describe greatness? This is a rare horse that happens every 20 or 30 years, one of the best American racehorses we've seen in a long, long time. And I'm talking back to Secretariat, Seattle Slew, you go through the list. And what I've tried to be is a good steward to him, be fair with him. And if you're good with your horses, they're good with you.
And Custer Hronis joining us now as well. And we were talking earlier, obviously this horse just so impressive with all the partners and this incredible team that you've had behind him. Just kind of take us through a little bit, the team behind Flightline.
Yeah, well, the team behind Flightline, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again in front of the world. As blessed as the partnership is to be all together as a partners and have a horse like Flightline in our lifetime is just unbelievable and great. But more importantly, Flightline is so blessed to have John Sadler and his team, because the patience he had with Flightline and what he did to teach him. He was a fast horse all the time. He was quick and fast, and he wanted to run full blast all the time. John, Juan Leyva, his assistant, and the team, they turned this horse into a racehorse, and he's the champion today who he is because of John Sadler.
And the question that everybody, of course, is asking, and decision to be made, is it possible we see him next year?
We're in a partnership. This isn't Hronis Racing, so we're in a partnership, and we're very respectful people, and we respect the partnership, and we'll all get together and discuss it at a later time and decide, and we'll always do what's best by the horse. I can promise you that. So we'll get together, and we'll just even Steven and just decide together how we want to do this.
And so from here today, where does he go right now after he leaves? Back
down to Rice Road. have a good dinner down there, and I'll be there in the morning to check him out, and then we'll make some, we'll let him tell us what the best thing is.
Okay. Anybody else? One more, and then we'll wrap this up.
Hey, John, Tim Layden from NBC. Can you put into words the emotions that we just saw you feeling? Like, what is behind that kind of reaction?
Well, I think for me, it's a culmination of your life's work. When you've worked with horses your whole life, it's just most trainers don't get a horse like this. So I'm just feeling very blessed.
All right. Well, congratulations. Flightline, a true champion to all the connections on the win in the Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. Big congratulations to all.
What time will you be at the barn tomorrow? And remember, we roll the clocks back, so.
If you guys want to come by about 8 or 9 o'clock or something. Not early. We're all